I am here to announce that we have filed charges against a 51-year-old Sadat Mousa in connection with events that took place on February 28th, 2026 at the Central Seventh-day Adventist Church in nearby locations. We have charged Mr. Mousa in connection with those events with felony vandalism, with a hate crime enhancement, 2 felony counts of vandalism on a place of worship, a felony in connection with placing a swastika in violation of Penal Code Section 11411, as well as 2 misdemeanor counts of vandalism as well. I have to say this is one of the more disturbing incidents that I have seen with respect to not only the facts of the incidents in which the vandalism took place and the rhetoric that was espoused, but also the history of conduct that will come out in this case with respect to homophobic and anti-Semitic rhetoric. And so as a result of our concerns about the public safety risk that Mr. Mousa presents both to the Jewish community as well as the LGBTQ community in San Francisco, we are seeking his detention. We filed a detention motion that should be heard today at his arraignment this afternoon, which will take place at 1:30 p.m. at the Hall of Justice. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
DA Jenkins, when you talk about this is one of the most disturbing, or one of the more disturbing cases, you kind of alluded to some of it. I'm sure we'll learn more in the case, but is there anything you can share with us right now to kind of clarify why this is one of the more disturbing incidents you've heard?
You know, unfortunately, unless certain language presents an imminent threat, we are limited in what we are allowed to charge. But I will say again that the rhetoric that is used by this individual and has been used over the course of some time is very problematic, and for me really elevates the level of risk that he poses to these specific communities in San Francisco. So that specific language is in the detention motion, will come out in court this afternoon, but at this time I'm not going to repeat what it is.
Is there a history of this sort of behavior, any sort of mental illness, anything we know about the suspect?
I would say this, I'm not aware of his specific mental health history. Again, that is something that will be examined during the course of this case, I'm sure. But again, the language that he uses is very clear. Again, the placement of swastikas and the fact that the language is highly anti-Semitic, highly homophobic, and that prior language that he uses, again, through social media and other means, really gives us pause as to what level of danger he poses to both of these communities. So I'm sure his lawyer will have him evaluated or look into his mental health. But right now, all I see is what's in front of me, and so I can't comment on that.
And just given recent events and examples that we've seen of hate language being so dangerous, leading to people actually taking action, can you talk about, just from your perspective as a DA, why it's so important to take these things and these incidences so seriously?
Yes, I think we are a country right now that is reckoning with a perception that hate is allowed, is something that we have to tolerate, and that people can be more vocal about it. I think when we're talking about, again, the anti-Semitic language and symbols that are present in this case, not only are we dealing with a community that has been very concerned and dealing with a much higher degree of anti-Semitism over the last number of years since the conflict between Israel and Palestine, but now with what is going on in the Middle East, those concerns are even more heightened once again. And so we have to take these types of situations much more seriously, even than we would under a normal context, given the heightened emotions of what is going on abroad. And so I want to reassure all communities that when we have incidents of hate in San Francisco that are criminal, that we will react immediately to make sure that appropriate charges are filed, that we will seek detention when we believe that somebody is a true risk to these communities, and to reassure the communities that we stand against hate and will do our jobs to keep them safe.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Oh, I don't have any questions. Okay.
And I do want to reassure again, this is a sort of a multifaceted hate crime case, because it isn't just with respect to anti-Semitism. It does include a number of homophobic statements and what I appear to be a history of threatening statements towards the gay community as well. And I do want to reassure our LGBTQ plus community here in San Francisco that this is something we also are very aware of, are very, we take very seriously, and that we will continue to educate folks on what the laws are, and that we will do everything in our power to reassure the community that there will be accountability, and that safety is our top priority.
I do have a question. Is there any particular reason why he targeted this specific institution, this church that he allegedly vandalized?
At this time, I don't know that we do know that yet, so I don't have that information in front of me. But again, this is a very new investigation, fresh investigation. We're only a few days in, and we will look, for every angle of his motive and everything that happened as this investigation continues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.